going on, everyone, and welcome into NHL Best Bets presented by the Odd Shoppers. I'm Gator Betting with my two co-hosts today. We got Gretzky Betskis and Franco the Banker. 4 games tonight for Thursday nights. Thursday night,
yes,
correct.
Thursday,
got
yes.
that. Nailed that. It's been a long week, but we are here. 4 games tonight. We'll be breaking down. We'll have a pick in each of the 4 games. So we've got you covered with that. Also, don't forget to check us out on the Odd Shoppers Tails Network at Expected Bets 4, where you can get 50% off your first month using promo code PUCKS. So be sure to check us out on that as well. We'll have a pick posted for tonight. All right, let's get into the 4 games for Thursday night. Let's start with Tampa Bay, Florida, and I think, Betsky, you got a pick for us in that one.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to give me Matthew Tkachuk shots, 2.5 shots at a bettable price, I'm going to take it. I'm sorry. He looked phenomenal game 1. He looked like the cheerleader of the entire team. He had 5 shot attempts and 3 shots on goal, which is kind of right around where you want for the volume. His volume looked really good in those last 5 games played, but you almost have to kind of just delete that because he was out for so long with an injury around the Four Nations break. But look at that head-to-head chart and tell me you don't like it. Out of the last 17 games against Tampa Bay, he has hit his 2.5 line in 13 of those games. And if you even want to bump it up to get a little extra value there, he's hit his 3.5 line in 10 out of those 17 games. He averages about 6.2 shot attempts. And I think the Panthers look like they want to just spoil the party this year. I think there was a lot of noise on Tampa, us included. I know I was on Tampa money line last game, and the Panthers are out here saying, "You guys, I can't believe you guys forgot about us." So, yeah, they looked fantastic with that. Kind of all the boys back together, the band back together with their addition of Marchand. I love that Marchand is playing on a separate line than Tkachuk. It just feels kind of nasty. And even if Tampa takes this one, I almost prefer that Florida's behind because that means everybody's got to shoot a little bit more. I also thought the shot totals were really low last game, and that was partially because Vasilevsky just was not himself. Florida was able to take a major lead very quickly and never really had to kind of play the type of game you typically see where Florida is just emptying the tank with pucks on net at every angle, every chance they get. Instead, it felt a little bit more like a Canes game where you play a little keep away. And Tampa just could not get the energy going to match that. I foresee this game being a little bit more similar than to a typical Florida-Tampa game, a little bit more back and forth, and I think that's better for props.
Yeah, what did we talk about on our show yesterday? Vasilevsky had a minus 2.45 goals saved above expected on 16 shots?
Yes.
Yeah, that's an outlier for sure. All right, I think that's all we had in Tampa Bay, Florida. We all did lean Tampa Bay money line as well, I believe, and that's one of those situations where it's fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. So we'll see if Tampa Bay can rebound tonight. But moving along to the next game, we got Toronto and Ottawa. I'm looking at Anthony Stolar's saves, his save prop tonight. It's at 26.5 for minus 125 on DraftKings. Stolar's has been phenomenal this postseason so far. Stopped 57 of 61 across the first 2 games here. And we're looking at this Ottawa side who's down 2 games in this series. They're going to need to shoot if they want to sort of have any hope of kind of turning this series around in games 3 and games 4. Starting with game 3 tonight, the Sens have been unbelievable in terms of shots at home. They have the 3rd most shots at home during the regular season, averaging well over 30. And Toronto, again, on the road has been much leakier this season, 2 shots against. So playing with this narrative, I like Ottawa to kind of have to pepper Stolar's tonight. So give me Anthony Stolar's over 26.5 saves. All right, moving along to the next game here. We're going to skip over one and we'll come back to it at the end. We have St. Louis at Winnipeg tonight. Franco, I believe you got a pick for us in that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the Blues. I'm favoring the Blues in general here. I think that this is kind of like a must-win game for them, down 2-0 in the series. I don't think they've played particularly bad so far. They've had their struggles a little bit getting goals, I guess you'll say, but they haven't played bad so far, despite being down 2-0. Looking at expected goals numbers too for the goaltenders, like neither Hellebuck or Binnington are playing particularly great, like stealing games. Hellebuck's sitting at a negative 0.6, while Binnington's sitting at a negative 0.9. So neither goalie like making a huge difference here. I think just Winnipeg's defense has been better. Now, obviously, this game transitions to St. Louis. This will be the first game there, so that will give St. Louis the line change advantage, and that will give them a little bit better of a chance to get the guys out in more favorable situations. And I think that will help lead to more offensive zone time and better opportunities for them. So because of that, I'm going to take St. Louis on the first period money line. That's minus 105. I feel like that's a little safer because if we get a draw in the first period, you get your money back. So far in the series, both games have finished in a draw in the first period. 1-1 in game, or sorry, 2-2 in game 1, 1-1 in game 2. So if you had bet in both games, you would have had your money back. I think, games in St. Louis, there's going to be a lot of energy for them coming in early. Home crowd should be loud for them. Yeah, I think it's a good way to back this team without the risk of taking them for the full game.
Yeah, I like that look a lot tonight. And going to our last game, we got Minnesota versus Vegas here. I'm looking again at targeting our shots on goal darling in this one, Ryan Hartman. He's hit in both of the first two games. In that game 1, he had 3 shots on goal on 9 attempts. In that second game, he had 3 shots on goal on 7 attempts. He's hit in 9 straight against the Vegas Golden Knights. Looking at his home splits as well, he's been better at home as of late, hitting in 8 of his last 10. So he's been terrific this series. Again, Minnesota have kind of that last change, like we mentioned, with the home team now. So I like Hartman a lot. His 2+ shots on goal is going to be minus 135 on DraftKings. Before we get into this portfolio EV, does anyone have any other bonus bets for tonight?
I like all the home teams to get done today. So any way you want to take them, whether it's first period money lines like we were doing with the Blues, or just the full game money lines, I'm expecting a little bit of pushback from all these home teams here, getting home ice games transitioning to their home stadiums tonight. So I don't mind looking any of those ways if that's where you're leaning tonight, if you're looking for a little something extra.
Is that awesome. Going to ring true for Jersey tomorrow?
No. Tomorrow I like the Oilers and I like the Habs, but I am not touching Jersey with a 10-foot pole.
Yep, I think that's fair. All right, let's dive into the Odd Shoppers Portfolio EV tool. All right, looking at this Portfolio EV tool, but before we jump into our pick for tonight, we want to remind you that you can use promo code NHL Bets for 50% off this unbelievable tool. All right, looking at the EV tool, obviously a limited number of games tonight, only 4, but we are going to stick with the top play that the Portfolio EV tool is highlighted here. We're looking at Mitch Marner under 1.5 shots on goal. This goes back to our narrative that we've talked about earlier, where we think Ottawa is going to kind of try to control the pace of this game and kind of dominate, especially in terms of the shot market tonight. So Marner has gone under this 1.5 shots on goal prop in each of the first 2 games this series. His attempts haven't been terrific as well. He only had 1 attempt in game 1 and 3 in game 2. He's also struggled against Ottawa in the past, going under this 1.5 shots on goal line in each of his last 6 against the Senators. So Marner at under 1.5 shots on goal, you're getting that at plus 138 tonight. So I think there's some value to be had there. All right. Before we wrap up, anything else you guys wanted to bring up?
No.
Perfect. All right. Just a reminder, you can check us out on the Odd Choppers Tails Network. Use promo code PUCKS for 50% off the first month. We will be back with our other show, most likely tomorrow or Monday. So be sure to check us out on our Expected Bets 4 channel. We appreciate Evan for tuning in, and we will talk to you guys next week.